We have started working on the form. Yeah, so when I try to submit the form, page has refreshed. So if you put event.prevent default, then it will not refresh. So make sure you have event.prevent default on the handle submit, then it will not refresh. So form has on submit part and we call the function, and this function should pass the event, and we should call this function. This function means it prevents the default functionality of the form, and the default functionality of the form is to submit, to refresh the page. And so we prevent that with this statement. Make sure you have this line of statement in the handle submit. Okay, we are working on the form. Now today we will work little bit more on the forms. So this week we'll be doing lot of forms, and it may go for many days. I don't know how many days, but it will go for a few more days. So see, your submit form as event, but you're not calling, and in the submit form, okay, let me see. Okay, on change you're calling submit form, but on the form you're calling handle submit form, and you have the event.prevent default. So make sure this P is small. In your code, P is capital. So in JavaScript, everything is case sensitive. Try to make this P small and see if it is working fine or not. Okay, try with P, small p, and let me know if it is working. Till then, we will work on the new project now. So I will be creating a new React project because I will be doing the forms, but more in a different way. So let's call npx create React app, and I will say project 0006. So we'll be creating this project. So right now I will put it here in this only till this get created. Okay, let's rename this to app3, and let me work here. So let me explain what I want to do, and then I will move it in the project 6 folder. Right now I'm working on the project 5 folder just to show you. So what we will do now, let me explain it here. So I will be creating a common component called as Myform.jsx, and this component will have text box, text area, and it may have radio button, it may have checkbox, it may have select box, it may have multiple select box, it may have file option, and there are many options which you will be adding it here in the Myform.jsx. Right now I will be using simple text box, that is the input tag, but when we will be doing material UI in few days, I will replace the input part with the material UI. Those who don't know material UI, they will know in few days what is the material UI. So we will be using material UI in few days. So right now I will be working only with a simple input box which we have learned in the last lecture, and then we will replace it with material UI when the time will come. So this Myform will have all these functionalities, and I will pass configuration here to this Myform. So based on the configuration, it will automatically render text box or text area or radio button or checkbox or select box or multiple box, select anything. So maybe one page, that is the registration page, may need 3 fields. So I will not create 3 fields separately. I will just create the configuration file and I will process this configuration file to Myform. And once I have written the Myform, I don't have to write input box again and again for the registration or login page or any other page. So this part we will work only one time, and then whenever we have to build the form, we will just pass the configuration in this form and then it will take care of itself. So that is the purpose of the exercise which I will start today. It may not end up today, it may take 2-3 days to complete, but we will start today. So this is the idea. Let's do this idea. So the project is created. I will start with the CD project 6. Okay, so project 6 is here. Now let's close this page, We'll go to project 6. So in the app.js, I will delete top 2 lines. I will delete this one and I will delete this part. Okay, so this is my app.js. In the index.js, I will delete index.css file because I don't need any CSS which they provide by default. So first line in the app.js will be the React, importing the React. Okay, so this is my main entry point. Okay, so you also run this project, new project, and till it finishes, you watch here, and once it is finished, you can copy the code there. I will give you time to copy the code here. This exercise is very important, so you have to write the code each line by line as I will show you, because this code will be used for many days. The only change will be when we will do material UI, we will change our myform.jsx to accept the material UI. Otherwise, this will remain same. Okay, so we need this myform.jsx, which I will call. So maybe I'll create one folder. Here I'll call widgets. So these are my widgets. What are the widgets? Text box, text area, radio, checkbox. These are my widgets which I will put inside the widgets folder. Okay, so let me know, before I go further, let me know, have you created the new project folder or is it running, still running? Okay, Rakesh is saying created. Any other person? Okay, Ashok Kumar has created, Rakesh has created, others? Done, okay. Okay, so now let me run this npm start and then we'll start our project. Okay, so in the widgets, first thing which I will create is this one. First thing which I will create is the myform.jsx. So I'll create a new file called as myform.jsx. Okay, so this is the main entry point of my all text fields, RSCE. So I'll keep it name as myform. And this is the my app folder. Okay, let me show you how it looks. Okay, right now it's saying hello world. So here I will be creating different kinds of form. So first will be, I will say, registration form. And then inside this registration, I will create some form, which I will show you in a minute. Okay, so this is my registration form. Right now we are dealing with only the creation of the forms and we will not submit it to the backend. Backend part will come later. So this is the login form, and I will be creating many more forms on this page. Okay, just make sure you watch this. Now here I will import this myform.jsx. I will import my form from widgets myform. And what I will do, I will put myform. I will call the myform component here in the registration part, and same myform I will call it in the login one. So the only difference between this myform and this myform will be the configuration which I will pass. So here I will pass some configuration, which I will show you what configuration I will pass. So this configuration will be array, some kind of array, which I will create it in a bit. Same thing here, I will create a configuration with the array. So remember, the configuration created here and configuration created here are totally different, because here, based on the fields which I want for login, I will pass those fields. Here I want whatever fields I want for the registration, I will pass those fields. So this is the difference between two configuration. Now since myform, we have to pass the configuration, so myform should accept the configuration. So here we have to accept the configuration. I will put it in the curly bracket. Okay, so this means the configuration will come from this app.js in the myform. And here I will check what is the configuration I am getting. Okay, let's see what we are getting. We are getting registration form, we are getting login form, and we are calling myform. Still we haven't written any line of the code, and that's why I'm getting this one. So first you listen, and I will give you time to do that. We are not doing completely now. Just let me do little bit task, and then I will give you time to do it. And you know, first time we are getting config is here, second time we are getting config here. So this config is coming as the registration one, and this one coming for the login one. Now let's build the configuration so that you know what I mean by the configuration I'm creating. So let's say my registration page may have three fields. What three fields I want? For example, I want email, and then I want password, and I want confirm password. So these three fields I want. Maybe one more field as a name of the user. Okay, we need four fields for this one registration. So since I need four fields, so in the array I will create four kind of object. This is one object, this is second object, this is third object, and this is fourth object. And for login purpose, I need only the email and password. So I will only create email and password. So for login, I need only the two fields. I will create two objects. Okay, let's see what we are getting now here. So here we are getting four fields for the registration, and we are getting two fields for the login. Now in each object, we have to define what kind of text component I want to render. So for example, this is the text box. I want to render text box. So for email, I want to render one text box. Name, I want to render a name text box. For password, I need to render the third text box, and confirm password, I need to render the fourth text box. So in each object, I will mention what kind of text box or text area I want to render it. So for example, in the first object, I will say widget. I will name the type which I want to render as a name as a widget. So here I will say render text box. Okay. And in the second one, also I need text box. So I will put text box for the second one also. That is for the name. For the password, I need text box, but it should be of type password. So maybe I can create password box. Okay, similar to text box, I will create password box. Next will be the confirm password. So fourth one will be also widget, and here I want password box because this one goes as a password, so I will name it as a password box. Maybe the first one is an email, so maybe I can say email box because we have the type of email in the input box. So before changing it to email box or text box or password box, initially I will only create text box. Then I will show you how to create email box or password box. Let's assume all are text box. Okay, I will do that email and password box in a bit. First, let's render it with the text box. Same thing goes with the login one. I will create the widget of text box. Okay, now let's see what is going here on the page. So here I am getting four elements. One is the text box, text box, text box, text box. In the second one also I need text box, text box. Okay, so we are creating this configuration and we will pass this configuration to the Myform, and based on the configuration I will render only the elements which are passed here in the widget, in the object. So we have to only render the elements which are displayed it here. Okay. So before I go and render each text box in the Myform page, I would suggest you to create the one Myform.jsx with the simple initial coding for the component, and in the app.js import the Myform. Remember, Myform should be in the widgets folder, and create the two configuration. One is the registration and second is the login, as I am showing it here. And I'll give you 5 minutes to do that. Once you're done, let me know. I will go further. Then we will see how to render the text box in the Myform. And this work we are doing one time. Once we are done, next time I have to create the form, I will just create this configuration. The whole thing will be rendered automatically using this Myform. So that is the idea. So maybe we will building 100 forms, but only we will build the configuration part. This thing will be handled by this Myform. Okay, so just I'll give you 5 minutes. Okay, so if you have not done it, do it along with me, and then we'll see. Now, if you see, this is the configuration, and this is the configuration going here. And this configuration is array. And we have the one text box, second text box, third text box, and fourth text box. So that means I have to loop through each object. So I have already shown you how to loop it. Can anyone tell me how can I loop this configuration here in this my form? Okay, map. I want someone to write the code for the looping, and I want everyone to write down so that I should know that you are on the same page as I am. So just write down I don't want internal details of map kind of thing. Just write down 1 or 2 lines, whatever you feel. How will you use map? Okay, yeah. Rajani has written config.map i.widget. Correct. So maybe everyone knows it, but I will just go through it. Okay. So here, instead of my form, I'll delete the my form text, and here I will loop through the config. So what I will say config.map. Since config is the array, so I'll say config.map, and inside this I will get arrow function, and arrow function is here, and this map will get 2 parameters. One is called the record, and second one is called the index. So we have 2 parameters, record and index. Since this is the array, so first one will have the index of 0, second one index of 1, third index of 2, third index of 2, fourth index of 3. And the record will be nothing but this object, this object, this object, and this object. Okay. So here I have to return something based on the which widget you have. So for example, I may use switch statement here, and I will check record dot widget. So what I'm doing, I am creating the switch statement, and I'm checking the record dot widget. And here I will give the case of text box. So when I have the case of text box, what should I do? Okay. So when I have the case of text box, what should I do it here? And I should also have the default case. So if we don't have this particular case, then we will pass the default case. So if I want to see what record is coming, I will show you here. Okay, let me show you what record is coming here. Let's refresh, and I'm getting record as text box, text box, text box, text box. And for the second one, I'm getting text box, text box. This is the login. We have 2 fields. This is the registration. We have the 4 fields. So we are getting this conditional because we have not put anything inside it, and we have only 2 cases. Now, when we have the text box, I can create the input form element, and I will return that one. So I'll show you whatever we created input here in the app.js. So what we created, this input kind of thing, right? So let's create this div kind of it. So when we have the case of text box, I want to return this div. I want to return this div tag. Since it is returned, we don't need the break statement. So what I'm doing, I'm looping through the config, and I'm checking the record.widget. And if record.widget is the text box, I return this div tag. Okay, and this div tag has form and on change, which I will fill later. name also I'll fill later. I don't need to fill it right now. I'll just pass the input.text. Let's remove this one and let's put it in another div. I'm just cleaning the stuff. So you can do it once I'm done. You can do it. So right now I don't have the name kind of thing, so I'm just giving the name. I will change it to the dynamic value which will come from this object. Right now I'm just putting the name. So what I'm doing, I'm looping through the config, that is each record, and I'm checking, I'm using switch statement to see what is the widget is here. And since widget is text box, so I have to render this part. That is a div tag with input kind of type. Maybe I can put this name in some label and then I will. Okay, so let me put name as a label. It will be easy to use CSS for this label. Then I can make it bold, I can make it whatever I want. And this is the input text. Okay, let's see how it looks on the page. Maybe if I want, right now if I show you the page, you will see the name and text field is here. Everything is showing name, and all are in the one line. So maybe I need this in the separate line, so I'll make it in the div tag. And I will put input box also in another div tag so that it should go in the new line. See now name, label name and the text box. So it goes in the new line. That's what I wanted. Remember, whenever you use a map and when you return it, the parent element which you are returning it should have the attribute of key equal to something. What value I want in the key? So in the key, maybe I can put index right now. Then I will change it to some different thing. So if I pass this configuration for the login, it also has the 0 and 1 index, and this is also having 0 and 1 index. So in one page, we cannot have the key with the same same index 2 times. So we should put something which I will do in few minutes, not now. I should append it with something so that key should be unique with the login or with this one. Okay, so something we will do it here. Okay, and the switch statement. Okay, switch statement is done and we don't get anything. I will also return some empty div so that it should not give me some warning to do. So let's say if switch statement does not support it, we have to do that part. So in the end, I'm giving the return of to do. Let's see what we are getting here. So for example, if I pass text box 1 here, that means it is not in the switch statement. So we will be showing to do. See, I'm getting to do for the last one because I'm passing text box 1, which is not in any of the case. So it goes to the to do. That means that case is pending. Right now, let's put the text box and fill it right here. So let me explain you what I did. I looped through the config. I'm looping through the config, and each time I am using the switch statement to check what kind of widget it is. If the widget is text box, I will create the text box and return that. And if widget is not there in any of the switch statement, I just put return of to do. That means that widget is not there. I have to do that task. That task is still pending. Okay, so before I go further, write down this switch statement. Though this is not the final, I will be doing a lot of changes on this switch statement. But at least you do this one so that you understand what we are doing it here. So this part is same right now, only changes in the Myform. So just write down this config map and whatever I have written this part from this div to this div. I'll give you 2 minutes to finish this one. Okay, so I hope you have done it. If you have not done, do it along with me. So now what we have to do, if you see here, we need to pass more parameters in each case so that I can give the appropriate naming label. I can put appropriate changes here in the input box. So I will add some more information in each object. For example, I will say name. What name I want for this text box? I showed you it is an email. Okay, so I need to put email here. So this name will go as a name in the input field. So as we have seen here, we have to put this name, and that is what this name means. We have to put in the input box. So once I pass the name, I will pass the name for everyone. This name is name, and this name is password. Whatever name you want to give to that text field. So this one is confirm password. So this name we are giving. Okay, so this name we are giving to put it inside the input text, like in the app.js we have the name field. Same thing we want to do it. So here in the input one, I will add the name equal to widget. It will go inside the widget. It will come inside the record. Sorry, it will come inside the record. So I'll say record.name. So whatever name I have put it here will go in this config in the form of the record. So we have that name in the record.name. Let's check it, double check it. Some comma is missing. I forgot to give the comma here. Okay, still comma is missing. I forgot to give the comma. Okay, now if you see, we have the record with text box and name. Name as email, name, password, and confirm password. I can double check here also when inspecting the element. I can see the name is email. For the second case, name is name. For third case, name is password. For the fourth case, name is confirm password. So we can verify it in the here also. Okay, so one thing, we got the name, and I passed the name from my configuration to show the name here. Next thing, I want to show this labeling. So let's create another one, label. So the label will be with a capital E for the email, and label for this one will be capital name, and for third one will be password, and for the fourth one it will be confirm password. So what we are doing, we are passing the label also to display it here. So how it will be appear here? It will be with the reference of record.label. I'm putting colon outside this so that it should attach it automatically. Now if you refresh it, you will see first case email, name, password, confirm password. We are passing from this configuration file. So next time we build the text box, I don't need to build this part. It's automatically built. I just need to pass the widget as a configuration in this form. And we will be able to tackle all kinds of the form elements here. So this is the first one, we are tackling it, but in few days we will be adding all. And when we will add material UI, there will be many more other form elements which we will be adding it. Okay, so now we got this one, we got label. Now, so this is the kind of input box created successfully here. And if we go to app.js, we have this on change behavior also, and we have the value field also. These two things which we need this is automatically added here by this my editor, though not needed. Okay, so this is not needed. You can delete it. When I save it, it's automatically added because of some prettifier thing is adding it. It's not needed. See, now it's not coming. It was sometimes when I save it, editor adds like kind of spacing in the end, which is not required and not needed. But if you add it also, nothing will happen. No harm will happen to it. Okay, now what I will do, I will put this part, okay, this part in some another file. Okay, I will put this in another file. So let's put this in another file. So I'll create a new file called as text box. Since it is the text box, I will create text box.jsx and I will create a empty structure. And what I will do, I will put this part in the text box 1. I don't need this key here now because this is a separate file, but I definitely need the label. So I will pass the label here and also need the name. I'll pass the name here. I don't need record.label. I don't need record.name. So what I'm passing here in the text box, name and label, and I'm displaying the name and label here in this text box. And now I have to call this text box in the Myform. So in the top one, I will write down import text box from /text box. Now I have to use this text box instead of this one. Instead of this one, I want to use the text box. Now you tell me, I am putting text box here. I will delete this part. Okay, before deleting this part, I want to ask one question. And I want everyone to answer the question. Okay, don't be quiet because otherwise I will not know who is understanding, who is not understanding. What props I should pass here in the text box so that I should receive name and label here in the another page. How will I pass the name and label here so that I can get that name label here? So you have to tell me what should I write here in the attributes of text box. I want you to tell me what should I write here so that I can get name, label, and in future I will also get value like this value. I will get on change function also, which I will be adding it here tomorrow or today. Let's see. So I need you to tell me how or why I should pass or what I should pass here in the props so that when I call this text box, it should call this component and these parameters should go in the text box. Yeah, then if you are talking about spread operator, I wanted to show me how you will pass spread operator. Ola is saying name equal to record.name. It's correct. Record equal to record.name. Rakesh is saying name equal to name. That is not correct because you don't have name. You have record.name here. So you cannot pass name equal to name. And you have to say name equal to record.name, not name equal to name. So I want everyone's suggestion, right? Lola given, Rakesh given, and Ashok Kumar is saying spread operator, which I like much better than other answers. I want you to answer how will you pass the spread operator here. Okay, I got the answers and most of them are correct. They are not wrong, but we should have some correct, we should have something which will help us or which will ease our life, which will ease our life in future. Configurable rec is not the right one. So since we have to pass the record dot name and label, and in future we will also get some value parameter like this. Okay, but that value parameter will not come in the config. Okay, that is a separate one. But we may get other things like I will show you. Like we have select box, so we may have these options. We may get these options also for the select box. So we should have something that we should not pass. I can do like this: name equal to record dot name. This is right. I can also say label equal to record dot label. But what happen, when more things will come in the record, I need to pass each one separately. That will one way it is right that whatever I want to show it here, I'm doing it. That makes it a control one. But also I can pass whole record here like this dot 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 record. Okay, so both have advantages and disadvantages. It's not that this one is good or this one is good. There's no proper way of it. But if I pass like this, name and label, I will at least know what things it is expecting, and I'm only passing those things which are needed. So for example, in the select one, I may have to pass options. So I will create one more option so that I will know for the select one we need options also. So both are right. I'm not saying this one is right or that one is right. We cannot say one is wrong, both are correct. But I need to pass the key also because whenever we do return something from the map, if we don't pass key, it will give us some warning in the console.log. So let me delete this div part and I will only put this part: key, name and label. And more fields, if it comes, I will add it more. This way I will know what things I am passing to the app. But spread operator in the text box. But spread operator is also good, equally good. In some of my projects I have used this spread operator, and in some projects I have used without spread operator. I have used directly this one. So I am not saying that this spread operator is much better or more appropriate answer. So right now for this project I will keep the text box as a separate like this, name and label. I will keep it separate. Okay, there is another thing which we can go in the input box, that is called the placeholder. So let's tell the placeholder equal to, since now I need placeholder also, I will call placeholder also from the parent component, and I will pass it here. So here I will also add placeholder, and placeholder will also come from my configuration file. So here I will say record.placeholder. Since I need placeholder also for the text box, I will put placeholder as the one more parameter here. Enter email. Okay, so let's do this. And here I will say placeholder is enter name. Here I will say placeholder as enter password. And in the last one I will say placeholder as enter confirm password. Okay, so we are passing different placeholder, and it will go here in the form of the record, and from record we are passing to the text box. Let's see how it looks now. So you will see I'm getting placeholder everywhere. Okay, my form is getting some shape now. What happened if I want some kind of required, if there is a required, this is required. If I don't put it, I should get some error kind of thing. So I may also pass some kind of required flag. So I can say is required is equal to true. So if it is saying true, I should be able to force it as a required. So here I can say required equal to record dot is required. So let's pass it as a required field. I can pass as a is required also. Let's pass as is required. And I'll go in the text box. I will say is required. But when I use this is required, it is the required field in the text box. So I have to say required equal to is required. Okay, since this is the variable I'm passing, but this is the input box key which I have to use for if it is required or not. Now you won't be able to test this required field unless I create the button to submit it. And that I will do sometime later, not today. Okay, so these are the fields I have added it. Let me see any other field I can add it also. So tomorrow sometimes you want to disable it also. You can do disable part also, which we will see tomorrow or day after tomorrow, how to add more fields here. I'm thinking what thing I can add it here. Okay, I can also put the asterisk here if is required is there. So I can say, okay, wait, I'll check you just wait a couple of minutes, let's see. Now, if is required is true, I want to show this asterisk mark like this. So how to do that? I will start with the curly bracket, end with the curly bracket, and here I will say is required, and then I will say end, to end. I have to say to end. That means if is required is there. That means if is required is true, then I want to show asterisk. So to show asterisk, I will use some span tag, and then I will add the span tag. In the span tag, I will put the asterisk. So that means when the is required flag is true, I will show this asterisk also, which you have seen in many of the websites. They show asterisk, that is the required field is this one is the required field. See, I'm getting asterisk. Asterisk means it is a required one. I can put it in the round bracket also, but whatever it is as it is right now. Okay, so this is the basic text box which I am saying. I will add one more thing today before I close this one. Okay, so any question? You are getting error. Where you are getting error?
So it is showing the. I'm trying to add the text box .js into the Myform and exporting to Myform.js.
Okay, your voice is very low. Either can you type your code in Telegram or here? Give me the code. Or speak little louder.
Can I just share, sir? Can I just share a few minutes?
You want to share the screen?
Yeah, I can share for a few minutes.
Okay, let me give you presenter role.
Okay.
Yeah, click yes to become the presenter role. Then you can share the screen.
Click, I don't see, okay.
Maybe somewhere you will see, yeah.
Okay, sir, I'm just getting this error. Cannot resolve this error. It's failed to compile Myform. So
okay, since you are in the Myform and you're calling text box inside the widget, and Myform is also in the widget, so both are in the same folder. So you remove the widget part. And yeah, dot slash. Yeah, that's it. Okay, 1 second, let me see the code again.
Okay.
And the text box should be capital, right? Yeah, capital,
yes,
very small.
Yes,
yeah,
capital.
That's fine. Let's check now. Yeah, error is not there. You can check in the browser. Okay, so you are getting to do. So something is still missing. Let's check what is missing. Go there. So you're passing text box and you're returning text box key equal to. Always remember, don't put space with key equal to no space, name equal to no space. Though it may not give error, but this is something you have to follow the standards like this. Okay, let's see your configuration in the app.js. Okay, so we just did text box. Now, okay, in the second one, text spelling is not right. Okay, yeah, now go there. Let me see what you written in the Myform. See, Myform, you have text box correctly. Now go to the page. Let's see what it's showing. Refresh it. Go to the console.log. Let's see why it's not coming. Okay, each child should have unique. Okay, this is the warning. This is nothing to do with the. We will remove this warning, but it's not displaying. Yeah, because you don't have anything in the text box. You're just empty div tag. Okay, to remove this warning. Yeah. So to remove this warning, which you're getting, you have to add the key also. So key is you're putting key correctly, right? Key is there.
Key
yeah,
index,
for the.
sir. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, this is fine. In the to do also, put the key equal to index.
Here, sir.
Okay, let me see. 1 second. Go to Myform again. Okay, switch statement is done. In the return for okay, so for the to do, go down in the to do.
Okay.
Here also you need to put key. Whenever you are returning from the map, you should return the key. Key equal to index. Yes. Now check on the browser. I don't need to restart.
Okay, sir. Yes,
Yeah, so you're not getting. Yeah. Now, if you put something in the text box, it will display it here.
Okay, sir. Sure. Okay.
Try it in some time, and I'll give you time.
Oh, okay, sir. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So, this exercise will go for many days because we have to build lot of widgets. This is the first widget we have built text box, and that is also not complete because we are missing here these two things. What we are missing, value and on change, which we will see tomorrow. I will not do that one because that will take still some time to do that. So, and this is the most important thing. So you have to practice this thing again and again. Maybe make this Myform page 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, do it multiple times. And as soon as we will be adding more text box, select box, check box, we will be adding more here case statements as we go further. Okay, one more thing I will do today before I close, that since this is needed the email, right? And this is needed as simple text, type equal to text. This one is the password. So instead of email box or text box or password box, I am thinking I will pass one parameter here as a type. So type will be email here. Here type will be simple text, which we have default type equal to text. Here type will be password, and here type will be password. So what I will do, I am passing type here, and in the Myform I will also pass the type as another property with saying record.type, and this type I will retrieve it in the text box. And when I retrieve this type here, instead of the manual text, I will replace it with this type. Okay, so let's check it now. So if I refresh it, here it's email field. Here it's a name simple text box. This one is the password field, so it is not visible. This one is also password field, it's not visible. So what we did, we only added type, and we were able to create the email box, we were able to create the password and the confirm password as a type of that input box. So one thing which we did here. Sometimes we have to display the error also. Then I will also create one div tag where I will be showing error if something error is there. For example, I want someone put empty one, then I want to show the error. So this error part I can put it here, but I will not put error part till we do the material UI. For now, we will just put simple text box. And we will be doing material UI soon, because to finish this exercise, I need material UI. I won't leave this exercise in this simple HTML format. We need some good shape, and that for that we will be using material UI. That I will start soon in few days. Okay, so for now, just remember that we created Myform with only text box, and we created one text box as a component, and we are calling this component. Next time, when we want to build a text box, I don't need to work all this again. I will just create this configuration and pass in the Myform, and then my text box is ready. I don't need to create it again and again. So make sure you are able to create this text box. Practice it multiple times so that it becomes very easy for you. I have created this 20 times in my practice, so I have a lot of practice about this one. You should also practice this a lot. And this Myform will not have only this switch statement. It may go with 20 to 25 case statements, that is with different form elements, and we will be doing all these 20 to 25 elements soon in few days. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will go to more by adding value and on change. We will be also doing this text area, and so on. We will be completing all the form elements. Okay, that's all for today.